First, open our blog. So go to the scenarios. So scenarios, if you go to the scenarios, automation scenarios. So there you have multi-selection drop-down. This is the one. So this is the one ours, right? Okay. Multi-selection drop-down. So I'll just copy the code, okay? So let me write driver.get. So the URL, okay? Then I'll just copy from here, okay? I don't want to make much. So this one, I'll just use this. Okay.
Sir, I also sent the code. I'm actually driving. I'll reach home in 5 minutes. I'll connect from home.
Okay, madam.
Oh, thank you.
So here, so we have to wait for this page title. So they still I haven't covered the other methods, right? Getter methods and all those things. So I'll cover after this, okay? The wait commands also I haven't covered still. So I need to cover that for you guys. So first understand this. So first you need to identify this multi-selection dropdown. So what is this multi-selection dropdown? See that select tag is there, ID value. So first identify this multi-selection dropdown element. So meanwhile, I'll just put some right, the web identify by the so multi-selection dropdown. So web element. So multi-selection DRP equal to driver dot find element by dot ID. So ID value. That's straightforward. This is no complicated. All single selection, what you did, same methods you will call. That's it. There is no difficulty here. Create object. Object for what? Select class.
Select class.
So select cell equal to new select, and you need to pass the web element name. What is the web element name?
Multi-selection dropdown.
So multi-selection dropdown, you have to pass it here. So select a class, so import from the arc.openq.selenium package, interactions package. So, and you need to select one by one now. So I'll select an option by label. So we have to use cell.select by visible text. So the visible text means the text which is appears for you on the UI. This is the one. Or you can find that in the between the, so here. So this is the one, right? In the option close tag, option open tag, in between the label value will be there. So you copy that. That's a visible text means. So I'm giving that. So I'm selecting the January. So then select an option by value attribute. So cell dot select by value. So you just give that. So I can give what is the value here. For example, I want to select March. So I'll give March. MAR. If you give March, you will select. So you have to give value, attribute value. That is mar, M-A-R. So I am giving that one only. Next, select an option by index. Cell dot select by index. I can give one. If you give one, what option will select?
February.
These are all list, madams. List. List means it will start with always 0 index, right?
So it will
0 means January.
0 is
So one
January,
means
February means 1.
February is 1 index.
What?
So I'm giving
Yes.
1 index. So 1 index means February will select.
February.
So again, call a few more methods. I'm calling about 6-7 options will select.
Yeah.
So cell dot select randomly any method you will use. Okay, any method select by visible text. I'm using again and put that. I'll use now. So I'll
Maybe
select
June.
June. I'll select. Let's select June. So I'll give this 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So which one will select? April. Will select.
April will select.
April will select. That's okay. Anything is fine. So cell dot select by value. See, I'm calling all the methods. You can use n number same methods repeatedly. Not necessary. You have to use all methods. Which method you want, you choose it. Okay. So not necessary. You have to call all methods n number of times. Not
You can select
necessary.
May.
So May we already selected. I can go for the August.
Okay.
Let's go August. Alternative I'm selecting. Okay.
Okay.
Cell dot select by index. So I'll give this time. So August is selected.
August is 7.
Eight. So 8 I will give.
9, 8. Okay.
So next cell dot select by index. Still I'll give 11.
10.
So now we almost selected all of them, right? So October, then December I
Yes.
selected. Total how many we selected?
1,
2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7.
7.
7. So I want to fetch all these selected options. You got my point?
Yes.
Total how many
Yeah.
options are here, Andy? How many options are here?
12 options.
12. In the out of 12, how many I selected here?
7.
7.
7.
That 7 I want to get it into my collection.
Get all
What did you get?
selected.
Get all selected.
So fetch
List with the
all the selected options.
options.
So list, angular
Web
bracket, web element.
List
So
options.
selected OPT list equal to. So cell
Cell
dot,
dot get selected
Get
all
options.
selected
Get
options.
all selected options.
that's it. Get all selected options. So take this and so you want to know how many. So just number of options selected.
Dot size.
So collection dot, the collection name is this one, collection dot size method. Collection dot size method. Now, so I want to deselect. I want to deselect one by one. So deselect an option. See, select methods I covered. Get all selected method I covered. So deselect an option by visible text. So cell dot deselect by
visible.
Visible text.
so which one I will deselect January. Okay. So because I selected January, I'm deselecting that now. Only selected one you can deselect, not other one, right?
Yes.
So deselect an option
Till dot.
By
by value attribute.
value.
So cell
Cell
dot
dot
deselect
deselect.
by value. So just give this. So I can select maybe zone. I'll deselect a zone, or this one, March I'll deselect. So let's deselect the March. Sir, did I need to use the same, whatever I have given here? If you want to know, even for example, June related value attribute value. June also selected, right? You can give June related one, not necessary only, sorry, you have given value, you have to select a deselect by value, same one, not necessary. Even I can use June. June, what is the value? You see that. June, what is the value attribute value? JUN.
GUN.
This you will copy and you will give. Otherwise, let me give this. So that if people are confusing, right? So you selected March and you are giving March. So if you select June, I selected by visible text, but when I am deselecting, what I am giving? Attribute value. Anything you can use. Deselect an option by index. Cell dot deselect by index. So I'll give 8. So now if you want to print all this, you can print here also. Before deselecting, I want to print. How can you print the collection?
Using for loop or for iterator.
So use the for each loop or for loop. So I'll use for loop, web element. So OPT colon. So this collection.
Selected option list.
So now you can get which option is selected. So selected option is, how can you get that?
OPT dot
OPT dot get text.
Get text. Get OPT dot get text. Yeah, you're right. You can use OPT dot
get
text.
Method.
So this option text it will fetch. This option text it will fetch. And next, so you have to use here. Now you get them. How many are deselected? How many have deselected now? 3 you deselected, right? Now count you verify here. So after deselecting 3, the number of options selected. So size 1. So now it will give you. So that's the another thing. Then I deselect all. So deselect all. How can you deselect all? Cell dot deselect all. Then get the size. What will be the size after deselecting all? What is the size after deselecting all?
0.
0. After deselecting all, then number of options selected is that one. So that's the how to call select by methods. So get all selected options, deselect methods, demo I have shown you already. So now fetch all drop-down options. How can you fetch all drop-down options?
Get
Get all options.
Return type get options method.
Get options.
Get options method. Get options method, madam. List web element. So options list equal to cell dot get options. get options method will give you all the drop down options. So this is the one. So just fetch total size, total number of options is. So you can just call this collection name
Dot size.
Size.
dot size. If you want to iterate, you can iterate with a, so any of them. Let me use iterator string or iterator collection dot. Okay, I'll use this iterator it equal to this collection dot iterator method. So import the iterator, that is from java.util. Then while it dot has next method, then print the each option text. Option text is, when you get the option text, so you can see it dot next method dot, so get it dot next. So let's see what it will return. It dot next string. I'll convert them into toString. This object it will return, and we'll see that. Okay, so what is that? And the finally close the browser. Driver dot close.
Are we not giving any sleep method between Ramesh?
So which one?
Sleep method?
So if you want, okay, exactly you want, you can give that. Otherwise, because it will close very fast. We don't need.
Yeah, like we can't able to see the selections.
So if you want, give here. So not necessary on the top. Thread dot sleep. But it very fast. It's very, very fast. And if you want to give here, you can give here also.
Okay.
Maybe after selection, you selected, right? If you want to see some time, thread dot sleep. Otherwise, it will deselect it quickly. 2 seconds I'm giving here. But real time, you should not use this, okay?
Okay.
So this is for our observation purpose only we are giving.
Okay.
So what happened? Is it started? Yeah, it started. So Edge driver we are opening. See, you can see the selection. Unselected, deselected all of them. Closed. Text we didn't get. Option text we didn't get properly. So this the count is changing every time. Can you observe 7?
Yeah.
After 3, deselected 4 is there. After deselect all 0 is there. Total 12 are there. But this one is not working here. It dot next. We should get here. I think this is not working. We have to use a normal for loop always. Let me use a normal for loop. So int I equal to 0, I less than collection dot opts list, opts list dot size method and I plus plus. and option text is, so collection name. How can you get the collection value? How can you get the collection element?
Select by
Get text. No, get index, yeah.
So this is the one you have to write. All collections you are, so you have to, that this I told you several times, right? How to get the collection element using get of index. See, now you got right? January, February, March till December. Okay, that's how you can get the, so option element you are using, you are getting with a get method. That element text you are fetching with a get text method. Okay, we are good. So now let's move on to the simple. I want to do one. So this one, how can you select a random options? So I'll just copy the same code. How can you select random options? So I don't want to give any values, but how can you select random options? Select random drop-down options. Select random drop-down option test. So it is there already. Oh, I have. Okay. So first we are opening this URL. Okay. We already covered this random option.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, is already you have covered, sir.
Then why you are, we don't need, right? We can delete this. I think Manju asked that, right? Okay.
Yes.
So we don't need that. So then let's move on to the next theory part. So that's all about drop down. Select class you can use. Now, theoretically, we are pending, right? Get element methods are there. So did I cover get element methods?
No, Ramesh.
No, Ramesh.
So let's go and learn about get element methods. So web element return type methods. What are the return type methods? So these methods will return the element data. So get text, get the text of that element. So it fetches the element text from web page and stores in a string variable. So string txt equal to driver dot find element by dot locator of locator value dot get text. See where I'm using get text on this element dot get text. Here also just now we have seen this is the element dot get text we called. So anything the element dot get text element on the element only you can call this get text method, not on any other thing. Clear? That's a get text method. So the meaning itself is that get text of the element. Only element is having the text, not browser. Browser is not going to have the text, right? So only element is going to have the text. Next, get attribute of attribute name. So you give the attribute name for particular element and that value it will fetch. What is the value in the HTML for that element? So it will fetch by get attribute method. Any element attribute value if you want. So what is the method you need to call? Get attribute. And what is the argument you need to pass for this method?
Value.
Argument name.
Value. Attribute name. What are the attribute names? Can you list out some of them?
href,
SRC, SRC,
type, RCI, name,
ID,
ID, name,
Yeah.
text.
Right. So those are the attribute names. Those attribute names, if you want to fetch, you will use this get attribute method and you need to pass the attribute name. The syntax is string. So val equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value dot get attribute of attribute name. Get attribute of attribute name you have to use. So how to fetch the tooltip of an element? So the tooltip of an element is available in the title attribute. Let me show you that. I don't know how many of you know this. Rediff.com. You can see here. Can you see here? See, this is the A tag. A tag, so what href attribute is there? Title attribute. If title attribute is there, then that means it has a tooltip. If the element, any element tag has a title attribute, what is mean by that?
Tooltip.
That is having a tooltip. Okay, so that's the main concept I want to cover here. So next, so you should know this concept. Okay, you give this, anybody ask, fetch the tooltip of an element. So just call this method on that element. And what is the attribute name you need to pass here?
Title.
Title attribute. So you should know this concept. You should know, okay, tooltip will be available in the title attribute. If I give attribute name for that element, I'll get the title value. Whatever it is, title value, you will get that. You don't need to bother about it. This get attribute method will go and get it. Next, how can you fetch the URL of the link? Where the URL will be available for the links? This basic concept you should know first.
Yes.
Any link URL is available in the
href.
See, this is the URL. Always starts with HTTPS. That's a URL of this link. Any link, it doesn't matter. That's a global concept. Web concept. The link URL will be there in the href attribute. That should be fixed in your mind. Then you can answer for this question. How can you fetch the link URL? So this is the code. String URL equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value dot get attribute of href. So how can you fetch the image source? Image source is available in the src attribute. So string image source equal to driver dot find element by dot locator get attribute of src. That's it. Get CSS value, CSS property you can get. What are the CSS properties? Can you see here? Display, margin, position, text hyphen decoration, color, text align, font family, font size. These are the CSS properties. What are the properties? CSS properties? Font size, font
Family, margin,
Background
padding,
color.
text hyphen color, cursor, color, text hyphen decoration, position, display. These are all CSS properties under styles. You can find them here. Any of these CSS property values, if you want, you can get them through get CSS value method. What is the method you need to use? Get CSS value. And for that method, you pass the CSS property name. It fetches the CSS property value. So string CSS value equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value dot get CSS value of CSS property. So the CSS property names are color, font hyphen size, font hyphen family, text hyphen decoration, background hyphen color, Like that, so many you have. So these are all I have listed out here. And if you don't know, still don't worry, go to the HTML under styles. For this element, these are the properties, CSS properties. Which property you want, you give the property name, and this method will fetch the value for that property. What is the method? Get
CSS value method.
Use
Value of CSS.
So why do you need them? This method to validate your UI is using proper font size, proper color, proper
margin.
what is the customer is giving, same one people are the developer is used or not. How can you test that? First you need to get what is there in the application and what is the customer has given font size and color, what it is there and what customer has given. You compare both with assertions. That's what we are going to do here with first getting the values from web page. This methods, all WebDriver methods will get the data for you. Later you compare with another framework concept, JUnit and TestNG framework concept, assert equals method is there. That's validations we are going to do later. That's a get CSS value method. So here is the code snippets for the few scenarios. How can you fetch the particular element color? String C equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value dot get CSS value of color. So how can you find out particular element is underlined or not? String UD equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value dot get CSS value of the CSS property name is text-decoration. This will give you whether it is underlined or not. If it is underlined, you will get an underlined value. If it is not underlined, you will get a none. So none value. So you can see here, there is a none. If it is underlined means the value will be here, underline value will be there here. In place of none, you will see underline. So that is the all this code snippets and anything. This is the generic formula. That formula you're going to use. So get location. This is the Selenium 3 methods. These two are, but now we are not going to use this anymore. Get location. Instead of get location, we are using like this. So the element dot, first identify the element. Element dot get rect method dot get dimension method dot get height. So this will give you the element height. Element, this is the width. So if you want to fetch the element width, element dot get rect method dot get dimension dot get height. So otherwise you can directly get rect dot get width to get height methods. And if you want element position, x coordinate and y coordinate, element dot get rect method dot get x. So element dot get rect dot get y method. So it will get the y coordination and x coordinate points. The points you will get and you can use anywhere. So this is the how to fetch the element position and element dimensions, height and width. Okay. How can you fetch the element tag name? Using get tag name method. String tag equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value dot get tag name method. You get the tag name of that element. So that's all about get element methods. So all these are getter methods. See that? So these are getter methods, right? Get keyword before your variable. This is the variable name. This is the variable name. That variable name before get keyword. The getter methods. Getter methods always returns a value or not?
Yes.
That we learned in Java. So that's why every method is a return type method. Every method is a return type method. Next. So Boolean commands is there one more. What are the Boolean methods? So why do you need Boolean methods? Boolean methods are used to find the status of that element. What status the current element is there. If you want to know, you will use this Boolean method. That means these methods returns a Boolean value, true or false will return to you when you call these methods on the elements. That's why I'm calling web element Boolean methods. That means you can call these methods only on the web element, not on the driver. There is a lot of difference is there. If you catch that difference, you can call them properly. These are all web element methods, I'm telling. Previous methods also web element methods. So there are void methods, return type methods, now Boolean methods. I'm categorizing all of them separate, so that you won't get confused. So void methods are click, submit, send keys, clear methods. They will just perform the action. They won't return anything. Get element methods, they will get the data for you from the web page for that particular element. Boolean methods, the element status it will fetch for you. So first one is displayed. It checks whether the given element is present in the web page or not. You're checking, okay, this element is present in the web page or not. Element dot is displayed. If the element is displayed, do the true actions. Else, false statements. That's how we can. So remember this is displayed method, what it is doing. Is enabled. So to check whether the given element is enabled or disabled, how do you know whether that is enabled or disabled? How do you know that? So you call this method and check. First identify the element dot is enabled. Then you can click, you can type anything you can do if it is enabled. If it is not enabled, you cannot do any action. That purpose you will use is enabled method. Next is selected method. Is selected, it checks whether the checkbox or radio button or drop down is selected or not. So to get that, you will use is selected method. Is selected method you will use web element. So element equal to driver dot find element by dot locator locate value. So if element dot is selected, then do the true actions. If it is not selected, they'll do the false. So this is the all three Boolean commands. Is displayed, is enabled, is selected. Is selected you will use only for checkbox, radio button, and drop down. You want to know whether the checkbox is checked or not. You can call on that checkbox this is selected method. So, but what is your scenario? You want to check or uncheck? Based on that, you first call this method on that checkbox. Then do the click action. If you want to check, if it is not selected, you could do the click action. If it is selected, don't do any action if you want to check the checkbox. So that's a status it is going to give. Okay, what is the status of checkbox currently? Checked or unchecked? So what is the radio button status? Selected or not? What is the status of drop down? Drop down is selected as some option or not? So that just gives you status of these elements by this is selected method, whether that elements are selected or not. So that Boolean value you will get. Based on the Boolean value, you write the code. Always if else conditions you have to use. So the last one is wait commands. So we need to understand about wait. Maximize are there, window maximize. Window maximize is there. So driver dot manage method dot window method dot maximize method. Dot manage method dot window method dot full screen. This is the full screen. It will select the complete screen. But there are some interview questions I have seen around here. How to set the position of the window. So there is a method, setter method, set position method, and give the point x coordinate and y coordinate. So this is the syntax. Driver dot manage method dot window method dot set position new point x coordinate comma y coordinate. So that's the how you can give your window position. How you can set it. How to resize the window or set window size. So you can use set size dimension. You need to pass the new dimensions of height and width you have to pass. So you need to get the height and width of the any window. So you can just get and give it here. So how can you get the window position? Get position. How can you get the window sizes? Get size method. So you can call all this. So this is the how you can call this. How to resize the window, how to set the position of the window. This is the interview questions they are asking. So please focus on setter methods. Okay. Now, the last one is wait commands. This is a very, very important concept. So why do you need wait commands? So what is the necessity of these wait commands or synchronization commands? What are the synchronization? What is synchronization in Selenium? They will ask. So what are the wait commands? Why do you need this synchronization in Selenium? So synchronization is mainly used to make the web page and WebDriver both in sync. So always web page will take more time to load, but WebDriver doesn't wait that much time. Then you need to sync up them, right? Both. To sync both of them, the tool and the web page, you are going to use synchronization commands in your code. Wherever you need this wait time, you will use this synchronization commands or wait commands, WebDriver wait commands you will use. If you don't use, what will happen? So page is loading and WebDriver is looking for that element. Loading time, WebDriver cannot recognize any element. Then it will report failure. That means you will get more failures of your test case. To avoid that, missync, the sync is missing there. And you are going to apply these wait commands in your code so that WebDriver will wait until your condition or until some time. That waiting purpose, we are using these wait commands to sync both WebDriver and the web page and particular condition to be satisfied. We are using this wait commands. That's the wait commands purpose. Okay. So what are WebDriver wait commands and synchronization commands? Means that's a main part. There are two types of wait commands: implicit wait, explicit wait. So what is meant by implicit wait? So implicit wait is telling you will declare implicit wait on the top after you opening your URL. Then you call single line of code that will set for all lines of code of entire program. You don't need to write every time. One time only will set. The set time is implicitly applicable for each and every line automatically. If necessary only, if not necessary, WebDriver doesn't wait. These two are intelligent waits. Intelligent waits means what? If required, the time will be applicable for that line. If not required, even nanosecond also doesn't wait there. Both are intelligent waits. Okay, so element appeared, move on to the next line. So WebDriver will find out that mechanism, that intelligent power is there and automatically move to next element, next line of code. So that's the synchronization commands means. And implicit wait, this is the Selenium 3 and now we are in Selenium 4. So you are going to use this. So see the difference: Selenium 3, driver dot manage method dot timeouts method dot implicitly wait of time, comma, time unit. You have to say time unit, seconds or milliseconds or minutes or what is that? Time unit. Two arguments are there in the Selenium 3. In Selenium 4, what they did? One argument they changed. Implicitly wait is modified as a one argument. That is the static methods of the duration class you are calling. So see that. Is this a class or not? How can you say it is a class?
Naming convention start.
Chapter starts with the
Start with
capital.
capital T.
Dot.
So class dot static method. So only static method you can call with the class name, right? So this is the other class. Somewhere this class is created, but you are calling in this method. For this method, you are passing as an argument. So duration dot of seconds, duration dot of milliseconds, duration dot of minutes. These are all overloaded. Overloaded. This is the overloading example also. Implicitly wait method following the method overloading concept. You are overloading with the seconds, you are overloading with the milliseconds, you are overloading with minutes, you are overloading with hours. Anything you can use, that's why overloaded method. Example you can give in Selenium. Method overloading example you can give implicitly wait. Are we good? That is the,
Yes.
so implicitly wait. First this single line of code, that's it. You will mention this line over. Suppose we just go and include here, where your URL is open here. Just write this here. That's it. Timeouts, some typos, java.time. Java.time. That's it. Over. This is the implicit wait. So you are telling, okay, after opening also wait some time. Then, so this time where you mentioned the remaining all lines of code, this time is applicable. But is it going to wait at 10 seconds? Not required. For example, this element is appeared in the second, it will move to next line. It won't wait 10 seconds here. That's the, so this time also, whatever you specified, that much time it won't wait. The max time you are giving here. The max time, so it will wait 10 seconds. Even 10 seconds after also your element is not visible, not available in the DOM structure, then it will report. So timeout exception. The WebDriver will report exceptions. Are you clear? That's the implicit wait. Then what is explicit wait? So explicit wait is basically particular condition to be satisfied. You are looking for a particular condition. This is only for condition. So like, particular element is present or not, you want to check. Or particular spinner is rotating. Until that spinner is invisible, wait for that spinner to be invisible. And our next page title appears. Until that page loads, wait for that. Until next page the frame is available and switch to it, you wait for that. Until that element is clickable or not, you wait for that element to be clickable or not. Until the element is visible or not, you wait for this. All these are conditions. There are certain conditions are there in the web pages. If you want to wait for that conditions to be satisfied, you will use explicit wait command. So the explicit wait command is one of the ways WebDriver wait class you will use to create the object for WebDriver wait, and then you will call that method, that object method, until method. Until method inside you have to pass expected conditions class static method. Each static method is a one condition. Each static method is a one condition in this class. So what is the argument we are passing for until method? Expected conditions class static methods. What is the argument we are passing for until method?
Expected conditions dot static
Method.
Expected conditions class static method. Each static method is a one condition. What are the conditions? Let's go and see that conditions. So how can you use until method? First, what is the first step? create object for the WebDriver wait. So what is the arguments you need to pass WebDriver wait constructor? Driver and duration dot of seconds. This is the Selenium 4. Selenium 4 changes. Selenium 3, just driver and time you are passing. But here, the time you are passing in the Selenium 4, always you have to use a duration class dot that of seconds or of milliseconds, whatever it is. Are we good? How to use WebDriver wait? So WebDriver wait object is a class. WebDriver wait is a class. For that class, we are creating object. So object reference dot until method. You are saying wait. See the meaning, wait until this condition is satisfied. You are expecting this condition to be satisfied. For that condition, you wait. So that is the explicit wait. Explicitly, you are setting for the condition to be satisfied. This is not applicable for all lines of code. Only for that condition, this time is applicable. But implicit wait is for entire program. But explicit wait is only for that condition. Are you clear on the difference between implicit wait and explicit wait?
Yes, Ramesh.
Yes, sir.
Implicit wait is for whole program. One time you will set. But explicit wait is only for condition, not for each line. It is for just for condition. What are the conditions? Wait for page title, wait for the page element to be present in that particular page, or wait for the invisibility of the elements or locators or the spinner or whatever it is. So which one you want to wait for the invisibility of that elements? Which element you don't want to see that? Maybe that is slowly going to disappear. Maybe after the spinner rotates, right? That spinner. So you wait for that invisibility of, then visibility of element. Some elements should be visible. In the menus, what will happen? First, when you click on the menu, then all options will show. That time also doesn't wait by WebDriver. You have to tell, okay, WebDriver wait until this option is visible for you. You have to instruct. That is this expected conditions class methods. So all these conditions I'm going to show you now. So what are all the different conditions we have? So each method is a one condition. Each method is a one condition. So how to go to Selenium documentation?
Selenium. Downloads, click on downloads.
And click on
And then
Java.
API docs. API docs. Then frames.
Frames.
You can see here. So alphabetical expected conditions, right? Look for the E order. Expected conditions. See, this is the class. See, class in org.openkey.selenium.support.ui package. That package, this class is created. So this is the package name. This package inside, this class is created. This class inside you have, see, all static methods. See, alert is present. You are expecting an alert is present. So you need to tell, okay, WebDriver wait until this alert is present there. So next attribute contains wait, an expectation for checking web element with given locator has an attribute which contains specific value. So an expectation for checking web element with a given locator has attribute value which contains this specific value. Same. DOM properties to be DOM properties. So all this, and also element selection state to be. Element to be clickable. Element to be clickable. Sir, there are two methods in the same class. What is meant by this? Which OOPS concept is following here? If a class contains same methods.
Method overloading.
Method overloading. See, only one person is telling. What about others? Just now I told there implicit wait, no, method overloading. Same is coming here. Again, method overloading. Another example for you. Every method here, see, element selection state to be. Element selection state to be. Method name is same. Here also, method name is same. What is changing here?
Only parameters.
Parameters.
Parameters are changing. So locator data type is a
Data
by
type.
class.
By
So element
Okay.
data type is
Data
a
type is
web element
web element.
interface. See that web element is what? Interface.
Interface.
See, all here we are going to use a non-primitive data types. All you are using here non-primitive data types for your parameters. This is what I was telling by locator how to define. In the select drop-down option, first I given right create methods, but nobody did that. I told this is the see by class data type and locator value. So when you call this method, you will give by dot ID value, by dot XPath value, by dot CSS selector CSS value. You will write when you call this method. So when you call this method, you will give web element. Correct web element name you will give. Element to be selected. Element to be selected. See again method overloading concept. See here frame to be available and switch to it. 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 4 methods are following method overloading concept here. Same method name, but parameters are different. See how many times I'm repeating the same method overloading concept. I don't know, still people are not able to answer this in the interviews. That's a very, very bad, right? This many times we are repeating that one method overloading concept and you are not able to answer and you're not giving these methods. You have to give examples. Where and all method overloading used, give all the examples, then they will be impressed. And why you are not giving all those examples? Implicit weight I told. So this all these methods, all expected conditions class methods are following method overloading concept. That means Java concept applied here. That's where they want. Okay, how you applied. Okay. Next, invisibility of all elements. Invisibility of all elements. See, this you need to pass a list. This you need to pass what? This is optional arguments. This you are passing a collection. This you are passing a how many you want, optional arguments, how many you want. You can give 1, you can give 2, you can give 3. This is the optional arguments. You do, if you are not sure about how many arguments, you can declare like this. Optional arguments. Data type, 3 dots, then parameter name. So this is how invisibility of element located. And then, so we have another number of elements to be, number of elements to be less than, number of elements to be more than, and presence of element located. This is another one. Presence of element located, an expectation for checking. It is checking that an element is present in the DOM. DOM is for HTML page. So this element, whatever you are giving that locator means element, right? Element object identification. This element is present or not, it will wait for that. Presence of nested element located by. So nested elements means parent element inside, these child elements are present or not, you are checking. It will wait for this child element are appearing. So then text matches, text to be present in element, text to be present in element located. So these are all text related methods. See, title contains. So when you navigating from one page to other page, mandatorily you need to call this method. Title contains or title is. What is the difference between title contains and title is? Title is means exact title you have to give. Title contains means you can give partial title, not necessarily give complete title. So an expectation for checking that the title of the contains a case sensitive substring. An expectation for checking title of the page, complete title. URL contains means which URL? This address bar URL. URL contains means you can give partial fraction you can give. So I don't need to give this entire thing. I can give only overview summary HTML. This is the part of this URL, right? I can give only that. That's the URL contains. URL matches means you have to give regular expressions. URL to be means exact URL. This entire thing you have to give. Visibility of this element, visibility of all elements, visibility of elements, visibility of all elements located by, visibility of element located. This is a single element. These are the multiple elements you want to verify. So this is all the methods. Every method is a one condition. So to wait for these conditions, you're going to use this explicit wait with a WebDriver wait command. So you have to call all this. I have just explained how to call element to be clickable. So wait dot until expected conditions dot element to be clickable and by dot xpath value. So this method will wait until that element is present in the web page, whether the clickable state or not, it will check. It will wait until that. That's what this, you're telling wait, WebDriver, wait until this condition is satisfied. See that how meaningful the statement, if you digest that is the statement, it's easy. So wait is an object reference of WebDriver wait class. Wait is an object reference of WebDriver wait class. Whatever you give, I have given wait reference variable. You give whatever you want. So that dot until method, what is the argument we need to pass? Expected conditions class. Methods you have to pass. Text to be present in element. Wait dot until expected conditions class dot text to be present in. So then pass that. Alert is present. Wait dot until expected conditions dot alert is present, not null. So title is wait dot until expected conditions dot title is, you give the exact title. Frame to be available and switch to it. Wait dot until expected conditions dot frame to be available and switch to it by dot ID value. So invisibility of this element. I'm waiting for, I'm expecting this element should be invisible. Wait for that element to be invisible. Wait dot until expected conditions dot invisibility of element name, you pass it. Presence of element located by dot locator value. So I'm waiting for this element is present in the web page. I'm waiting. You need to tell, okay, next page you are navigating. The page is taking more time. You wait first, write this line of code. Wait until this element is present in the DOM. If it is taking more time to load, write this line of code, particular element, that element address you give here, and then WebDriver will wait for that element. Always when you are navigating to next pages, this is the method and the title. This is the code you have to write, mandatory. Why mandatory? I'm saying you're accepting that the next page is loaded without any errors or not. If errors are there, you won't get this title, right? You will get a page not found. Or this element is not loaded, the page is not loaded, you won't get this element, right? Page not found displayed, then will you get this locator? No. If the element is not there, it will fail here. That means you are checking strictly next page is loaded or not, next page elements are present or not. This is the method you will call. This is the single line of code. Title contains, you can give partial title. Wait dot until expected conditions. Title contains means, for example, your page title is very big and also dynamic. Only partially it is constant. And give title contains instead of title is. Title is means you have to give exactly. With even spaces also, if you don't know spaces, that's why we call this title contains. So URL contains, any URL you want to verify, you can use even this one also. You are navigating to next page. The next page, that URL displays only, you are assuring that that page is loaded. You can call these methods. There are so many ways to validate the next page is loaded or not. How do you know next page is loaded? How do you ensure that? Call this. Call these methods. So call these methods title contains or title is or presence of some element, unique element of that page. that element is not there in other pages. You take that unique element of that page, particular page, which page you are going, then write this code. So this is all the how you can you wait for the visibility of element located. So you are opening a menu, and that a menu element should be visible for the WebDriver. You can ask WebDriver, wait until visibility of this element. So you are telling very clearly, wait until expected conditions dot visibility of element located. See how meaningfully you are telling WebDriver. That is the power of these commands. All these expected conditions class methods, you need to pass as an argument for this method, for the until method. So that is a fluent way. I'll cover tomorrow. And then we'll move on to the coding. Okay. Any questions?